Tonight, Texas fighting off the feral hog threat. Officials in the Lone Star State announcing new contraceptive bait to curb the growing population. According to the USDA, wild hogs are estimated to cause $1.5 billion in damage every year. It's a problem that's plaguing farmers. Well, now that issue is spreading into our region as well, and it could impact those of us living closer to the city. News 4's Paige Holsey traveled more than 70 miles west of St. Louis to Washington County. And tonight she shares how conservation experts are trying to stop this issue in its tracks.
Driving across this privately owned farm about 15 miles outside of Sullivan, Missouri, we quickly spotted evidence of destructive trespassers.
There's some old hog damage there.
Damage from feral hogs. They can ruin hayfields and food plots overnight.
They get in these open fields and they start rooting, and there's no real piece of farm equipment that can repair that.
They compete with native wildlife like deer and squirrel for food, and they carry dozens of diseases.
Those diseases got into our livestock, our domestic stock, it would be detrimental.
They are not native animals, and they don't look like the pink pigs you see on the farm.
Instead of that curly little tail, their tail will straighten out, their tusk will grow, their hair will grow, their back gets straighter.
Hogs, or boar as some call them, were brought here hundreds of years ago by settlers. But according to the Missouri Department of Conservation, the problem with them started 20 to 30 years ago when it became popular to hunt the wild ones.
A lot of folks think they're migrating like the armadillos are and the bears are, but they're all associated with release or escapes.
Sometimes from farms or businesses that sell guided hog hunting trips. They reproduce fast. Females can have 3 litters a year starting at 6 months.
Research has shown that you have to kill 80 to 90% of the hogs on the landscape just to maintain the population.
It is legal to kill the hogs on private property, but recently, at the end of 2019, it became illegal to hunt them on public property in the Mark Twain National Forest. It was a controversial decision.
And we get the question a lot, and complaints as well, as why can't we hunt them? That makes sense. If we hunt them, we'll help you get rid of them. Well, what happens is that, a lot of the hunters go after the trophy, so they're going after the big boar and they're letting the mom and the squeakers go by.
Plus, shooting 1 or 2 can then cause the rest to scatter and travel even farther. The Conservation Department would rather trap and then kill the entire group. James Hall is a conservation agent for Washington County and happens to be the caretaker of this private farm.
They're the hardest animal I've ever tried to go after. As soon as you get them figured out, as soon as you think you know where they're at, they disappear.
He says they've trapped about 100 hogs near this farm in the last 2 years. He showed us how it works.
This is what we call a drop trap.
Most feral hogs won't even notice when they step into this elevated trap because they're so focused on finding food on the ground, and they don't have any natural predators from the air. So they've baited this trap with corn, and they're hoping one hog ends up back here to knock this trigger and set the trap. The Conservation Department is working with private landowners to set traps like this. They check them daily and then kill the hogs they catch. In 2020, more than 12,000 hogs were removed in Missouri, with Iron County alone harvesting more than 2,200, according to Missouri's Feral Hog Elimination Partnership. Now they want your help. They've gotten reports of feral hog sightings as close to St. Louis as St. Charles, Jefferson, and Franklin counties, and they're asking if you spot one, don't shoot. Report it to the Conservation Department.
People ask me, do we think we can eliminate them? I do.
In Washington County, Paige Holsey, News 4.